America's Army. It's a tactical first-person online shooter. The game came out on July 4th, 2002, the very first version. The game right now, the version I'm discussing, is based off the Unreal Engine. The version in this review is 2.8.2. If you think this review is incorrect, it's probably because the version you have, or are planning to get, is not the version I'm discussing. Okay, with that section clear, let me just first state that America's Army is a tactical first-person shooter that's online. The game also has a rudimentary training mode in which you go through basic training, airborne training, medical training. You learn how to use rifles and how to heal other soldiers. The game has a fair amount of weapons to begin with, including standard modern-day weapons, including M16s, AK-47s, Barretts, M24s, and your basic arsenal. The game also has a fair amount of levels and is very difficult because it's strictly online. The game also has very nice graphics with very nice pixel shaders and shadowing. To begin with, America's Army, there's only one of two ways to get it. Either you go to the store and purchase it, which is usually the older version, which no one plays anymore, or you simply go to the website and download it. And also, it's free. That means no money is paid for this game whatsoever. Absolute nothing. Which is also nice in case you don't like it, because you can't go wrong with free. Also, to play, you need a account, which you make on americansarmy.com. They only need something like an email and a player name. They don't want anything excessive. Okay, before you can even start playing, you have to surpass basic training. If you don't pass basic training, you can't even do any sort of level. Each level of training will unlock you more missions, and therefore you can play on more servers. So after passing basic training, you can finally jump into a game where the action ends up getting pretty intense. Now, at first glance, this looks like its own type of game, but after playing just 1 or 2 rounds, you'll find out this game is a lot like Counter-Strike. Yep, once you die, you don't respond to the next round, there are medics, you can only have certain weapons, you can't carry 10 at a time, and the game is fast-paced but very realistic. There is a letdown to this, though, where in Counter-Strike, if you play as terrorists or counter-terrorists, there is a difference when you play. You can see it in the weapons you purchase, or in the character model you play. In America's Army, there is absolutely zero difference. No matter which team you pick, the player is always presented as an American soldier, and the other team is presented as the opposing force, which is usually Iraqi soldiers. Now, that becomes a problem because you only get to use certain weapons, and unless you kill another person and pick up their gun, you're stuck with the same weapon in every single round, which gets really annoying. Even though the game has such a nice arsenal, they didn't even show it. Now, the game, like I said, is very realistic. You move pretty fast, 1 or 2 good shots to take them down. The weapons are very realistic. Weapons like sniper rifles, when you breathe down the scope, jitters. Weapons have stands, modifications, iron sights, and so on. Also, to use certain weapons, you also have to pass certain training, as I mentioned earlier. Once again, this also becomes annoying because the weapon is not available to you. The maps can range from fairly large desert environments or jungle environments to, small urban environments. This offers the game a nice wide variety of indoor and outdoor combat. Also, the game has vehicles in certain maps which can help you get from location to location in a reasonable amount of time instead of being stuck on foot. Graphics in the game are really nice. Animations are nice and fluent, and the game also has ragdoll physics at certain points. This adds a nice touch to this game, but the game was supposed to be realistic. That is kind of nice anyway. Characters look very realistic. Weapons look very realistic as well, although some of the weapons have 2D iron sights and others have 3D iron sights. Environments also look really nice. Reflections on water, the mountains, the hills, the trees, the buildings, and shadows all help bring the game to life. Gameplay in the game is fairly simple. Either kill everyone or complete what it says, such as crossing a bridge or stopping people from crossing a bridge, securing weapon caches, or destroy weapons caches. Anyway, the gameplay is fairly simple but also difficult. Also, because of your account, you have what they call as a personal jacket, your character's stuff. As you play, you get experience points, you get certain badges from training, which do unlock certain weapons in other levels, as I mentioned, so they're not completely useless, but most of the time, they're just for show. The game is relatively fun, but like Counter-Strike, which is much more intense, this game focuses much on realism and not enough on video game itself. So, is America's Army really worth it? Well, the game is fairly fun, even though it's free, but isn't as fun as you would expect. If you have the original Half-Life, I'd recommend getting something like Counter-Strike or Day of Defeat. That game will keep you engaged. America's Army is more for the people who are searching for something realistic, like Rainbow Six, something like that. No, it's free. You can't go wrong with free. So, America's Army is a deeply good game, but doesn't show all its features as it should.